Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Collective Podcast. I hope you've been following what's happening with our previous podcast. If you haven't, go check it out. It's brilliant. And today we're going to just talk about seeking. So, for the lack of a better way to put it, we just call this Seeking 101. Okay. And would you like to start with seeking?
I feel like all of humanity is out looking for stuff.
Sure.
Okay. We are all seeking.
Absolutely.
Maybe some of us are more aware than others about what we seek and why we seek. And maybe some of us have clearer ideas about exactly what we want, but we don't know how to go about it.
Exactly.
And I feel that as of today, okay, when I take a good, long, hard look at myself, what I am is what I have sought so far.
Absolutely.
Yes, it boils down basically to what I am is who I believe or what I believe I am meant to be, okay, or I'm meant to have.
Right.
But when you really go down to it, you understand that everything you are and everything you have right now, or everything that I have right now, is sum total of what I have put energy into seeking all this while. What you seek, you will find, and what you have found so far is what you have sought.
Exactly. And if you really understand, most of the time we go through life looking for something or the other. Okay. Sometimes we know what it is. Sometimes we don't know what it is. So what we would love for you to start today is with, what are you seeking? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. What am I seeking? Right? And it is very clearly written, what you seek, you will find.
Yes.
And you yourself said it.
Yes.
Okay. So that means what you sought so far is the exact, as your life is today, that's what you sought. Right? So now that you have that understanding, I think you should now upgrade your seeking to the next level, not just things you desire, things that you want. Guys, the things that we have today, and something we've lived on this earth, both of us, for about like 45 years, close to, okay, together that's 90 years of existence. And we can safely say that we have sought many things and we have gotten many things, right? What are you seeking? And like Mercy said just now, what you sought, you already found. And that is the exact life that you're living right now. So that means because you sought that, you have it today.
Exactly.
So maybe now you're asking yourself or telling yourself, I should have sought better, right? Or I could have done better. Yeah, true, right? But that is something that we can all say, we can
At
all
every
do.
point in
Yeah,
time.
at any point of
Yeah.
time. But what's the point of that? So today, let's be intentional, right? On that note, I hope you have checked out our episode on intention, right? Let's be intentional about what we are seeking, okay? If you're a person that is telling, I have sought peace and I'm going to seek only peace, awesome.
Yes,
Right? Now
yes.
you have a target and you should aim for that. Okay? So instead of being very broad about what we're seeking, we kind of need to
Narrow it down.
narrow it down to what we seek.
Because
Okay?
it's more effective that way instead of
Exactly.
having a vague picture or a.
Absolutely. If you're asking me what I seek, Vamsi, what are you seeking? I will tell you this. I'm seeking a better world. I'm seeking a better life, not just for us as a family or a community, but for the world at large. Is it a big ask? Maybe. All right.
But it is a drop in the ocean, and it still
Yeah,
matters.
it matters. Absolutely
every,
matters.
Everyone's intention. Yeah.
So because Mercy and I are seeking that, utopia, we are working every day towards making that happen. And this podcast exists for that very reason, so that we today can, hope to, through our conversation or through what we say, can impart that sense of seeking or that sense of wonder into everybody's life to make the world a better place. In our understanding of seeking, there are many concepts, there are many things that we need to understand. And first and foremost, what we need to understand is faith.
Yes.
And it's a word I feel that is loosely used to denote belief, okay? Or otherwise interpreted as confidence or awareness or being conscious, living in the now, etc. All these things will come and fall into the definition of faith.
So I feel when we set out to seek, there is an element of faith in it.
Absolutely.
An element of trusting in the unseen or in the unknown. Because, hey, what do we know? We don't know everything, right? But when we set out to seek and find something, we are setting out with the possibility that what we seek exists for us to
Exactly.
find. All right?
Exactly.
And that could be called awareness. It could be called, many people might call it in different terms. But when we are setting
Confidence.
confidence, yeah,
Or being conscious.
being
right?
hopeful, being
Yeah,
conscious,
Exactly. Living in the now.
yes.
Yeah.
But when we set out to seek, we don't set out blindly, do we?
Exactly.
Yes, we have an objective, we have a goal, but we also understand that it's not all in our hands, and that what we seek comes with the element of the unknown
Exactly.
or trust in the unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we need to be okay with the unknown.
We need to be okay with the unknown, because not
So-
at all points in time do we have all answers. So
Exactly.
we should be comfortable with the not knowing of things.
Absolutely. Now, if you just take a consensus of what is known and what is unknown, you would find that the known is like a dot or a drop in the ocean,
Yes.
whereas the unknown is the ocean. When we talk about just the size of this universe, forget the universe, the Earth, right, the planet. What we know is very little. They say
Yeah.
80% of our oceans, I'm not sure exactly how much, is not explored. So we don't know what is in there, or even the mountains like Himalayas. Most of it is still unexplored. And we don't know how life works in certain areas.
Right.
And all these things, today, we need to understand that in our seeking, first and foremost, we need to be comfortable with is the fact that we don't know anything.
Yes.
We don't know everything.
Yes.
We're not going to know everything.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And the fact that we're not going to know everything is an awesome place to start, an awesome place to be.
Yes.
Because now you're ready to tackle everything that is coming.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And yes, the more you seek, the more
You will-
questions will come. But with more questions, yes, of course, you're going to receive more answers.
Yes.
And also thereby more questions. So
And such
be
is
very,
life.
very
Yes.
comfortable with the fact that we don't know everything. And
Yes. And in the not knowing,
yeah.
okay, lies so many answers, by the way.
Absolutely.
But I also wanted to differentiate between being comfortable in the not knowing and
Mm-hmm.
this willful ignorance
Exactly.
or blindness,
Exactly.
which so many of us are comfortable with. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't need to know that. Why do I care? It doesn't concern me. And of course, we don't have to take everything and put it on our plate. But in the seeking, we need to understand that sometimes we are willfully blind. We choose to be willfully ignorant. And that stops us from finding what we seek. Does that
Exactly.
make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah, because in the we can't start out seeking with the idea that we're going to find it all,
Yes.
right?
Or
We-
with the idea that it's going to be a comfortable journey.
yeah. Why we want it all is so that we can feel like, finally I know,
Yes,
finally I have
I've
arrived,
arrived. Yeah.
right? And unfortunately, you're not gonna ever arrive, I think, right? And between the both of us, I think there's 90 years of existence, and we've seen things, we've experienced things, we got some goals that we achieved, but it's
And the
always
more we understand, the more we know
Yeah.
that we don't understand
yeah,
much
and the,
at all.
And the more we
yeah.
understand, the more questions come,
Yes.
and the more we have, the more we want,
Yes, yes.
right? And it goes on. So we can safely say that your faith should never stop. Your faith should, to begin with, should not be crystallized as that's what I have faith for. Okay, and you need to be able to upgrade your seeking, your faith, or your faith for whatever God or whatever that is you understand today to be reality should start and keep upgrading.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you used a beautiful word there, crystallized, because again, that's something that all of us live in. We tend to have firm opinions and ideas about things. Okay.
Yeah,
and so we
exactly.
tend to box and stereotype and sort of limit ourselves because we are so sure this is what this is.
Exactly.
And then in that, progress stops altogether. All right. And humanity has this habit, including me, of calling something good, calling something bad, calling something evils, calling something positive, negative, death, life. And we need to understand that while all of this exists, all of this is just my interpretation of it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
And so the more we polarize or draw these firm distinctions without being fluid or without being open to correction, change, or the willingness to change my previous opinion or the knowledge that I had,
Exactly.
okay, the more we stop ourselves from finding what we seek.
100%.
Everything is my interpretation of it. Okay, everything that I understand, everything that I am is my understanding, my perception, and my interpretation of it. It does not have to be your interpretation.
Yeah.
So I can't expect you to understand that this is what death looks like. This is what life is. This is what good is. This is what bad is. Okay, what can be good today for you can become bad for you tomorrow. What is bad for you today could become good for you tomorrow, including a simple cup of coffee. So we
Exactly.
can't really crystallize these things. If we are seeking and if we want to find what we seek, we have to be fluid about these things. We have to be willing to flow, is what I mean. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, I like this. I don't know if it is a saying or something that just popped up where it says, we need to be like water. We need to
Yes.
flow like water rather than be set in a stone. Okay. Setting in a stone is, we've already have an idea of good or bad, right? Right or wrong, and thereby miss out on nuances, miss out on areas and people sometimes who come from a different background or different things because we have this idea of this is it.
Yes.
Okay. And in your seeking,
Yes.
there cannot be a this is it.
Yes.
You could have, like, this is it today, but you should be willing to change that if necessary. For
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
And in the flowing, just because we're fluid and are flowing doesn't mean we don't have a structure or a framework that we operate out of.
Exactly.
Most of the times, our framework is the belief system that we have. And that could be about anything, your belief systems.
Right.
They encompass all of you, in fact, all of me. So that can be the framework. And yes, everything is bound to change, so that can
Yeah.
also change. But we don't have to get lost in the seeking just because we don't have a framework or a structure.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, at least for me, the structure that works is what I would like to call justice. And yes, again, that comes from various understandings and can be subjective. What I define as justice does not have to be what he defines as justice. But hey, am I being fair to myself and to the other person or to the situation at large here?
Right.
For me, is a good framework to
Absolutely.
define what I want to seek and how I want to operate in that seeking.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very important. And I love the word justice because ultimately what is being done in the spiritual realm for all of us is justice, right? And we are looking for that justification of self as well as the world or earth or whatever it is in every area. That is what we're going after. And yes, that would look like many things, but it's a good place to start seeking.
Yeah,
Seeking justice, right? For you and for another, for your family member, or just a dog on the road or whatever.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And thereby,
and justice is not punishment.
exactly. Yeah.
It is a beautiful sense of fairness that should hopefully end in the reconciliation of all things.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing a line from one of the more famous movies, that is, justice should eventually, or most hopefully, should eventually lead to reconciliation
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
change.
Yes, absolutely.
for the better.
And I love that that phrase that is written. I desire mercy over judgment, right? And I desire mercy too all the time. But on a broader spectrum, guys, love wins. No?
Yes.
And
love is justice.
Love is justice, right?
Love
And
is
if you-
not just this feeling. And,
Exactly.
yeah.
And love is not just a feeling or what we call romanticism or all these things to be love. So justice looks like love. Love looks like justice, right? And why is there ever this concept of love? And love is not romanticism. Love is
not
not a
feelings.
feeling.
Yeah.
Love is a force, right? Love is
It's a
justice
choice.
being
Yeah.
established. And that is why the ultimate expression of love was justice. Okay. And today we need to aim for that. And as we talk about in a relationship, love should be established, meaning justice should be established.
Yeah.
Fairness, right? Fairness. They are good enough. I am good enough. And together, can we have a life that is good enough?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And accepting that sometimes these boundaries, what we have, might not be applicable for another.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And ultimately justice, right?
Yeah,
You think
and
of justice.
you're right.
So what feels like justice to me might not be justice to her, right? And so to be able to cross that boundaries and making love that center where you now put another
And
instead
live
of
and let
yourself,
live.
and
Yeah.
you live as well as you let live, and we agree to disagree and stuff like that, is what we should
Yeah.
all facilitate in life.
And for the longest time, or mostly even now, love is looked as a weakness.
Yeah.
Okay, where it is,
Exactly.
if we understand that it is one of the strongest forces of change.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have all heard about the survival of the fittest, and we've understood that those who cannot adapt are the weak ones who die. Down the
exactly.
evolution of human beings. But love is not a weakness, and over time we have understood survival of the fittest to be grab what you can, go for what you can. The strongest here gets the most,
Yeah.
and the rest die. All right.
Exactly, yeah.
But studies have shown that civilization apparently actually began when they found evidence of a human being or a group of human beings who, instead of leaving their fallen companion, I'm talking years and years and years ago, had first fixed a broken leg.
Amazing.
And carried or taken the person along with them.
Yeah.
Okay. And today's survival of the fittest will look like us adapting to this idea that love is a powerful force where if we work together, we will all survive.
Exactly.
Where if we love each other and therefore can work together with each other despite our differences and let each other be,
Exactly.
let our differences be, we can actually survive and thrive as a species.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love the word civilization you just said, because apparently today there is proof that humankind, like you and me, existed for about 200,000 years. Okay, but if you look back and you see when civilization started, it was very recent, probably 7,000, 8,000 years ago, or the civilizations that we know
Of right now. That we're aware of
that
right
we're
now.
aware
Yeah.
of. And why that change? Why that change? I can safely say the human consciousness has evolved to a place where it's not now an individual but a collective,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the more we get there from an individual to a collective, our ideologies, everything kind of now upgrades, right? You're not just trying to live, trying to fit in, but now you're also trying to fit in another, right? And thereby it expands your boundaries.
Yes.
And together, if two people are there, like we are, it expands our boundaries to hold more,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, our seeking should lead us to a place where we now seek more than who we are,
Yes.
right?
Beyond
And
ourselves.
understanding that what we seek has a collective intonation to it,
Yes.
a collective meaning to it.
Yes.
And the more the collective increases,
Yes.
and I think the narrative of this world changes.
Yes.
Right.
And in the seeking, I feel it's important to understand because so many of us get stuck on knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, we are like knowledge junkies who want more and more information, and then our identity gets tied to that. Okay, and we need to understand that maybe our identity is also in the not knowing.
Exactly.
Like we said before, in being comfortable with the not knowing, because sometimes a no answer situation is an answer in itself.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
maybe it's
absolutely.
teaching us to be okay with the not knowing, because knowledge is not the be all and end all of everything. Knowledge is just one aspect of it. What we do with it is what matters.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think so many of us who think that we seek get satisfied in this place of knowledge and refuse to push it to a place of action or transformation or change.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when answers don't come, it's okay to just sit there and sit with it and know that in this also lies an answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Beautifully said. And to add to that, I think we, and you have said it, but I'm just going to paraphrase it.
Yeah.
We should turn what we are seeking, our knowledge, into an experience.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Thereby, with knowledge, it's a concept.
Yeah.
It's a thing that is there in your head, but it need not be experienced. For example, we discussed faith a while ago. Faith can be a knowledge. Faith means that I need to believe in something, right? But when you turn that belief into something and you actually work at creating something, now you're turning the idea of faith into a substance that creates
Into reality.
into reality.
Yeah.
So you
your
turn the
seeking has
concept.
actually produced something
Exactly,
there
yeah.
for your benefit and for the benefit of others.
Bang on.
and
Yeah.
it's not empty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're turning that knowledge of about something into an experience and thereby manifesting or creating something in this world. So everything that we seek so that we can create.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And in our seeking, as we seek without stopping, I'm pretty sure whatever that is you seek, you will find.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And in the seeking, we need to understand that, and we address this in another podcast as well, that we have to be authentic. In
Yeah.
the sense, in my seeking, I don't go about like, this is who I am. So just deal with it. This is my seeking. This is how I seek. And sometimes the fact that I seek and I want to find myself, could sometimes be an act of rebellion as well. What I call, I'm going to seek and I'm going to find myself and this is who I am and this is what I've discovered and this is the knowledge that I have, could be an act of rebellion only because I really don't want to face myself or take responsibility of my choices.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then seeking can also become an escape from daily life.
100%.
Seeking knowledge, seeking information, seeking revelations, seeking the more can actually become an escape from facing myself, from daily life, from me having to make the tough choices,
Exactly.
and from me having to act on my choices.
Basically a dopamine fix.
A dopamine
You've turned
fix,
seeking
yeah.
into a dopamine fix,
Yeah.
where you just engage with that knowledge or engage with that concept and feel good and then let it go and not really working on that concept becoming a reality.
A reality.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are always trying to be authentic.
Yes.
Right?
And we're trying to find ourselves.
We're trying to find ourselves, right? Now, what does that finding ourselves looks like today? Right now, at this moment, okay? Finding yourself or finding myself. What does finding myself or yourself look
Because
like?
that's what we seek for. The starting point
exactly.
of seeking is, okay, who am I?
Who am I,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And what does it look like today? Guys, we are here in this world, a collective memory, right, of who we are for the past however long we lived, to that kind of the gives a meaning and a definition for who you are today. But
Yes.
is that what it is, right? Is that what it is? Because now when you look around, when you spread your awareness around, then you would see there are things that you haven't seen. There are things that you haven't heard.
Right.
There are things that you don't know that this is a reality.
Right.
So basically, for us to seek further, for us to go further, you need to be able to let go of your past.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
need to shed what was.
Yes.
Okay. And look at what is and what's going to be.
Yeah.
More than what's going to be, I would say what is
Yeah.
is a good place to start.
And because
Right.
we're scared of change,
Yeah.
we are scared to shed the past.
Exactly. Yeah.
And therefore, we live in a constant place of stress and worry and fears.
Exactly.
Because we are so attached to the past, and we have learned from the past that if we think this or if we do this, this is what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So we are just repeating that pattern again and again and again because we are coming from the past memories, and therefore,
Exactly.
of course, the past experiences will repeat.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
finding myself will first take me shedding my preconceived notions of how life should be like, or even a preconceived notion of this is what I'm going to find when I
Exactly.
seek. Because what I seek, I will find.
Yeah.
But we're also subconsciously seeking at the same time. It's a conscious
100%.
and subconscious
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So sometimes what we find might not come in the package that we were expecting.
Yeah.
And the package that we expect is usually tied to our past experiences.
Exactly.
So if you want to find something new,
You should be
Yeah.
willing to welcome change.
Yes.
Number one, right? That's what you're saying. You should not be comfortable with
Yes.
what you know.
Yes.
You should be, again, comfortable with the unknown as well. Okay? So, like she said something very beautiful, and I love that. Because if you're going to repeat your past, because that means you are living in the now, where your past has taught you that this is how life has been. So in the now, you are living, expecting, covering, protecting, doing based on your past understanding, and miss out on the new, on the now.
absolutely.
Right? So whereas if you give the new a chance, the now a chance, and saying like, yeah, my past was like that, maybe I'll do something new today.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try something new
Yeah.
today. Okay? And be okay with the change.
Absolutely.
Be comfortable with
Yeah.
the discomfort.
Yes, beautiful. Be
Okay?
comfortable in
Be
the
comfortable with the discomfort.
Yeah.
You might find something new that will set a new precedent
Yeah.
for your future, for your tomorrow.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to crystallize my past, that happened, this happened.
Yes.
And thereby creating exactly from your fears that reality
Yeah.
again and again.
And therefore, seeking is a continuous process of letting go.
And evolving
Evolving
and changing.
Therefore, that is the tough part,
Yeah.
because letting go takes a level of humility. And of course, none of us are comfortable with humility,
Absolutely.
goes unsaid.
Yeah.
Because what are we letting go? We are letting go of what our ego, and when I say our ego, I mean ourself, has taught us is real.
Exactly.
Okay, and our entire identity is tied to that. So if you're
Yeah.
letting it go, we are admittedly saying that we were wrong, and that's not going to feel comfortable at all.
Exactly.
No one likes that.
Yeah.
Okay, but seeking is a continuous process of letting go, and like I said in the beginning, of our ideas of right and wrong, everything, all our ideas of who we are, our patterns, what defines us, what defines him, what defines you. It's
Yeah.
a continuous process of letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, to adapt the knowledge that is coming to me at that point while I seek.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm entitled, or if I'm victimized, or if I am the kind who absolutely wants to control my environment or my surroundings or the people in my life by
Exactly.
whatever form of control I choose, I don't think seeking is going to be effective in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like control, entitlement, striving, neediness,
Yes.
stress, right? Jealousy, offense, insecurity, etc. All these things come from that place of not wanting to let go.
Yes.
Okay.
And letting go takes vulnerability.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not you don't want to be vulnerable because again your past teaches you not to be, not your new. You're not giving vulnerability a chance by letting go.
Yeah, because
Okay?
we've been taught that being vulnerable is weak again, and that
Exactly.
we won't survive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. Not everybody can receive your vulnerability. So read the room.
Yes.
Right? Understand. Use your wisdom and don't be vulnerable with everything and everybody.
Yeah.
But it's okay to be vulnerable first and foremost to yourself.
Yes.
And then, to find somebody who you can be vulnerable with.
Yes.
And thereby you can start your journey with seeking
Yes.
by being vulnerable.
Absolutely. And again, one of the reasons that we struggle with finding what we seek is, like we said, our past, and that sometimes comes as voices in our head.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Mental chatter, and mental chatter can get dark at
Yes.
times. Okay.
You're
So-
not good enough.
Yes, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
The overthinking bits, what could go wrong? Am I being deceived here?
Yeah.
I mean, so many things go on in our
Right.
minds, okay, that stop us from walking into the fullness of whatever we are seeking is.
Exactly.
All right. So, how do we deal with that?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is one of his favorite topics on earth.
Yes, it's stillness. Okay, choosing stillness over chatter. Which is what you said.
And how do you do
You know,
that? Yeah.
And how do you do that? Is to literally in this very moment just letting go of everything. Okay, even now as we are talking, just try take a deep breath, like inhale and a deep exhale, and just sit in that relaxation, sit in that stillness, right? And thoughts will come, try to, like a barrage of thoughts will come sometimes to tell you it's all coming from the past, right? Again, it's all coming from what you know, what you did. So just letting everything go and just sitting here and just understanding that you as a life force, you and your life force together are enough.
Yes. Yes.
And it need not be defined by anything else that happened, anything else that is happening, but the fact that you are. Because ultimately, if this is not established, this stillness, or the fact that you are who you are is not established, you now are vulnerable to every form of attack, for the lack of better words, by the nature around you, by situations, by people around you, and thereby get polarized in your views,
Yes.
get carried away, right?
Yeah.
But-
and it's as simple as that. I know some of you might have found it funny when we asked, okay, how do you enter stillness? He said, let go and enter stillness. If it was that easy, you would have been like, okay, then I would have been in stillness. But honestly, it is a matter of what we think our reality is.
Absolutely.
If mental chatter is a reality, if the voices in your head is a reality, if your worries and your concerns are a reality, then stillness is also a reality. So it's a matter of what we are choosing as a reality at that point. We can choose to give into the victimization of all the things that are going on in our head and in the external, or we can give into the fact that stillness is already a part of me, which is true.
Yeah.
And I just need to make that switch. And
Absolutely.
yes, it takes time. There is practice. There is a process sometimes. But honestly, it is about the choice that we make to choose stillness as the pathway to what we are seeking, or the path that
100%.
we walk on to what we are seeking.
Yeah.
Stillness is a choice that we can actually make. And over time, as we practice it again and again in situations where where our reality seemingly says something else,
Exactly.
stillness becomes really real
Yeah.
the more we practice it.
Yeah. And to kind of differentiate what works against stillness are your senses, right?
Yeah.
Because we've been, again, it goes back to your past again. We've been taught that your senses are telling you this is what is happening, whereas deep inside there is that knowing, there is that stillness, which is again within you. Okay. We miss out on that because we get carried away by everything we see, we touch, we feel, we hear, and miss out on that beautiful essence within you, life force, spirit, God, whatever you call it, because you are now focused everywhere else rather than inward. And as you turn inward, stillness will help you see beyond,
Yeah.
hear beyond, touch beyond, feel beyond. Okay, and that is why we need
Exactly.
to first go
Yeah.
within, and from within we can now perceive and create much more. Okay,
Absolutely.
And every
And stillness is also the key to learning to love yourself, because you become
Absolutely.
really aware of
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
And then when you love yourself, there is balance and unity in the world as well, again, in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And if we don't find that, then, in our seeking, we're actually going to discover everything that we dreaded discovering in the
Absolutely.
first place.
Absolutely.
All right. And
Yeah.
it'll become more of a negative experience
Yeah.
because we are not coming from this place of rest
Exactly.
and peace.
Exactly.
And then we find all the kinds of things that we don't want to find in our seeking. Yeah.
I'm glad you said rest and peace.
Mm.
Okay. Why it's important is because peace is a feeling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But rest, what is
It's a
rest?
state of
not,
being.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a physical rest like I'm resting. Rest is a state of being. Okay. When you bring both together, I would love to call that stillness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because it's not a feeling, right?
As in I'm feeling peaceful? No, it's not that. Yeah.
It's got, because sometimes peace is
transient. Dependent on external factors,
circumstances,
sometimes,
at
yeah.
least the way we understand it, right? But stillness has got nothing to do with the happenings around. Stillness has got nothing to do with anything that is physical
Yeah.
around, but it's got everything to do with the fact that you are okay.
Yes.
Deep within you, by yourself, you're okay. And that is a place that we all want to find ultimately in life.
Exactly.
That is a place we find only in God.
Yes.
Okay? And that is why we're here, to make sure that we look first inward and find that place. And then from there, your seeking will have manifold effect.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we also absolutely need to understand that my journey is my own.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, we have family. We have families. We have communities. We have
Or
our
even in this
circles,
equation, like we
or,
are
or
a
your
couple.
husband and wife.
Yeah.
Father and sons, or parents and children, or whatever the equation is.
Yeah.
The journey is still our own.
100%.
Yes, we have each other to carry us through and help us up when we are down. But end of the day, the journey is your own.
Exactly.
And my journey doesn't have to look like yours or his. Okay. But again, what is the common factor there? I think there are several common factors that makes us seeking worthwhile and effective in the long run. I think one is stillness, like he said. The other is love.
Yeah.
And what is love at its most basic form? Do unto others what you want done unto yourself.
100%.
Okay.
Justice to yourself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what does it look like
So
on
if
other?
I am entitled to love, but I am giving you a hard time over anything, or I'm being intolerant or abusive, or then I'm really not walking in love. And then
Absolutely.
what I seek is probably not mine to find then. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we said in the beginning, what you have right now is what you sought. Who you are right now is what you sought. Because sometimes if the path is not established in stillness and in love and in justice, okay, we will still find stuff, but these are things that we sought for without
Exactly.
all of this. So it's
Yeah.
only going to bring more chaos.
Exactly.
Okay. So what we have right now is what we sought. And if we choose the path of love or stillness and justice and all these amazing things that we
Yeah.
live by, that we would love to live by, we will find beauty in what we have sought. We will find productiveness in what we have sought. And we will find transformation for the better in what we have sought.
Absolutely. And that's brilliantly said, because understanding all that we've discussed so far, if you can, just start here at this very moment and understanding each and every concept, I think you have a bright future ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. If
And
you
and
really,
it's okay to seek for money. It's okay to seek
Absolutely.
for whatever you think makes
Is
life
needed.
good for you. Yes,
Yes,
yes, it
you
is
know,
okay. All right.
absolutely.
And I think that is something humanity at large needs to understand, because sometimes we seek for stuff, and I find so many people feeling guilty about what they seek because their beliefs are not aligned with it. I think we should be okay with seeking and wanting what we want.
Right.
As long as, of course, simple things again, we are not harming ourselves, harming another, as long as it's established in love, as long as it's established in fairness,
Absolutely.
as long as it's established in tolerance, but not at the cost of you having to give up your identity to tolerate another. All right. So seeking is a beautiful thing. You should want money. You should want health. You should want to live a good life. You should want good relationships. You should want what you want. You should want to excel in your careers and your businesses and in what we do,
Yeah.
all of which is beautiful, but all of which will lead to division and toxic individuality and greed and so much of chaos if we don't understand that the
is it?
path to seeking lies in love and in stillness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that those things are easy. Those things are free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are the
And those
things
things
that,
are a matter of choice.
Yeah. And it's a matter of choice. And you find it right within you.
Yes,
Okay?
and that is inside us.
Yeah. And that is why you need to first start your seeking
Yeah.
with here. Right
Yes.
here. Right.
Yes. So to sum it up, like I said, our journey is our own and our seeking is our own, as much as we have help from others. Okay.
Absolutely.
And others are given to us to walk this journey with.
Right.
But if my seeking restricts or goes against oneness, all right,
Yeah.
or if it judges those who are different from me,
Exactly.
if it harms another person,
Right.
or if it causes division,
Yeah.
or if it harms me, all right, what am I seeking exactly?
Good question.
Because so much of my seeking is going to be determined by my conscience. So the question is also, am I being true to my conscience? All right. And if I am causing chaos with my seeking, if I am causing harm to another with my seeking,
Yeah.
if I'm not willing to let another live with my seeking,
Right.
all right, then in life, what am I looking for really?